Hi guys, it's Sarah from Book Nerds and Fangirls, and today I'll be reviewing a book that I didn't think I would have read during this month until I went to Florida and picked this book up. And I've heard nothing but good things about this book. This book that I'm reviewing today. I picked it up. I had other things on my TBR to be read, but nothing was really appealing to me. So and I was also competing in RibSat during that time, and I really didn't want to be distracted from my RibSat pile, but at the same time, this book, I just read the first chapter of it while I was, well, actually, no, I got halfway through it while I was waiting for my boyfriend to return back from work because I was by his work, and I really didn't want to leave without him because I was going to Books A Million that day anyway. So I sat down and I got halfway through this book while waiting for my boyfriend to get done with work, and that was how good this book was. And then the next day I finished this book, and it really makes me sad that I waited such a long time to review it, but I have been busy with work and I read this like halfway through my trip, so that's another factor of that. And the book that I'll be discussing today, that was pretty much one of my best reads of 2016 so far, is Everything by Nicola Yoon, I think her name is. Please, sorry if I butcher this, I'm sorry. But this book was, oh my god, it was just so amazing. It totally blew my mind. There was a plot twist in this that I never saw coming. I saw it coming a little bit in advance. Not so much. As soon as they dropped one of the hints, I was all like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. I know this is gonna happen. I don't want it to happen, but I'm pretty sure this is the direction this book is going in, and I was right about that, but I wanted to believe so much that that wasn't gonna happen, that when it happened, it really shocked me that I was actually right, and that did happen. And I'll be discussing that more in my spoiler section of this review. This is my non-spoilery part of this book. This book, if you haven't read it yet, I would really recommend picking it up because I personally, this was nowhere on my TBR for this whole entire year. I didn't really want to pick this book up for a reason. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, but I was a little bit like on the fence about it because I have so many other books to read, and I'm really glad I took the time to stop in Books A Million, really look at this book and pick it up because it was an amazing and fascinating read, because the main disorder in this is a girl that is allergic to everything, and I've really never read a novel about a girl that is allergic to everything, nor have I read anything about people being allergic to everything. I know that exists, but it's very rare that happens. So when I picked this book up, I really went into it knowing that I was going to learn something new, and it was going to educate me on some things, and I really did have a lot of questions while reading this book about this certain type of disorder, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. And for me, the rating on this book would be a solid 10 out of 10 stars. There's nothing I found wrong with this book. There was nothing I hated. I hated one of the characters because I knew she was good. They were gonna do what they were gonna do, and I really hated that, and it really sucked. And I'm gonna talk about that more in the spoiler section. But for now, by non-spoilery people, I'm gonna spoil the crap out of this book. book, because this is a book that deserves to be talked about in lengthy detail, unlike some of the book reviews I have been doing lately, because either one, I'm too lazy, or two, I really didn't enjoy the book as much as I thought I would. But everything deserves this review, so I will see you guys after you read the book. Bye! Okay, so if you're still here, I figured you have read this book, or you don't care about being spoiled for this book, because there are just so many things I want to discuss. I want to discuss the minor things about this book first, and wait until the very end to discuss that major plot twist that I'm pretty sure no one saw coming until the last minute. That plot twist just really smacked me in the face. I don't know if it was that way for everyone, but for me, I was just like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming at all. I thought this would be a book about what it was really about. This thing had as much shock factor to me as Identical by Ellen Hawkins, if anyone has ever read that book. The ending to that gave me a smack in the face too, because I never would have guessed that would be what went down in that book, but it did. So I'm not gonna spoil that book. That's another whole discussion video that I will never make because I've already read the book. So here goes with this book. I'm sorry about my light balance. It's all over the place today. I literally have to film with unnatural yet natural lighting because there is a rainstorm outside, so the lighting is dark anyway. But everything, I'm getting off topic. I'm gonna start with the main character and what I thought about the main character. I loved the main character. I really have to see what her name was again. I'm sorry. What is your name again? She is the I can't believe I forgot her name. Okay. Madeline, there we go. Madeline. So we start off this book. I'll start with this review of talking about Madeline. Madeline to me was a really great main character to follow. I really felt empathetic towards her situation, and I really don't get how much it sucks being allergic to everything, because I'm not allergic to everything, but with this author, it shocked me that this is a debut author, because it seems like she's been writing for a very long time. It seemed like she took years to make this book and did a lot of research and put a lot of thought into this and depth into her characters. And that's what I love about this book. I love a book that has depth to the characters and discusses illness the right way to where it's an enjoyable reading experience and you could feel sympathetic towards the main character you're reading about with this illness. I really love that. If you guys have more mental health / illness books that I could be reading, drop them down below and let me know what you think. But everything for me was on the same level as Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone was, as well as character developments. I really love the character development in here, how Madeline is this very shy and timid person at first, and she really grows into herself towards the ending of the book. Like, the Madeline from the beginning of the book, I never would have guessed would be the Madeline from the ending of the book. She just really surprised me with how she handled everything. And some people might say she was a little harsh about how she dealt with the ending, but I don't blame her, honestly, for dealing with it the way she dealt with it. It really sucks to figure out something like that out, and forgiveness really isn't a very easy thing to do. Most people find it easy, but for some people it's not. I know, I totally relate to the main character in this, because forgiveness for me isn't easy either. And, it's totally understandable why she didn't forgive the person that she decided not to forgive. I don't want to talk about that subject yet because I'm going to go full on rant mode if I talk about that subject yet. So let's go on with the other main characters. I don't even want to discuss her mom at the moment because everyone who's read this book, and I imagine you read this book because you're watching this video for as long as it is. But her mom, I personally, before I knew what she did to Madeline, I didn't like her in the beginning either. I thought she was a really sweet mom at first, a little too sweet, to be honest. And then that whole thing with Carla and Ollie happened, and I just really ended up hating her, and then the ending happened, and I hated her more. But one thing I hated was that I felt sympathetic for her towards the ending because, what happened to her was tragic. But it's still inexcusable. If she knew she needed help, she should have got help, but she didn't, and, some things you just can't forgive, and I don't really blame Madeline for not forgiving her mom. Honestly. But I hope someday in the future, I really want a sequel to this just to see how they repair their mother-daughter relationship after the fact of everything in this book. Maybe like a novella. Probably not another book, but a novella would be nice. Would be nice to wrap up some things that happened in this book that I really just want closure on, but other main characters, I loved Carla. Carla was awesome. Awesome. How she really encouraged Madeline to get out there and see the world and be who she wanted to be, no matter what, and what her disorder and disease was. It was just so awesome, and I loved Carla, and I was really pissed at Madeline's mother for firing Carla because she wanted to see Ollie. She was seeing Ollie behind her back. That's not a reason to legitimately fire someone. I do understand the putting the health at risk thing, but what she did was a little too over dramatic and over the top for my taste. I'm not a mother, so I wouldn't really know what she was going through her mind at that moment, but I think it was a little harsh, to be honest, to fire Carla for that. Now, grounding her daughter for lying to her was totally understandable. But firing the nurse because, she didn't tell you something that your daughter told her in confidence, which, there is a thing called doctor-patient confidentiality, where if the patient doesn't want you to know something, you're not gonna know it, no matter what, unless it is automatically related to their health. They're not gonna know about it. And Madeline is actually 18, so her mother technically can't do that anymore because she's not a minor. So, there's that. So many emotions about this book. And then let's discuss Ollie. I liked Ollie as a character. I felt really bad about his situation with his dad and his mom. I really wish they would have gone more into depth about his situation because we spent so much time on Madeline's situation and her being allergic to everything and what it was like that we really didn't get to know Ollie's situation in depth more. We had a few things that explained what was going on, what was happening. I really want a spin-off this book in Ollie's perspective because, I want to know what was going on. That was the one complaint I have about this book, the one, is that we didn't get really that much information on Ollie's stuff, and it was a little pushed back because of what was happening in this book. This book, it wasn't a major pet peeve of mine, but it was like a minor pet peeve of mine. Okay, so the relationship between Ollie and Madeline I found adorable. Just simply adorable. Especially when they went to Hawaii. Because can we get a round of applause that she actually snuck out from her bubble and went to Hawaii, and there I had a little bit of a clue towards the ending there because she wasn't getting sick. And usually people who are allergic to everything, they would at least, be having some sort of attack or allergic reaction or something or other, but Madeline wasn't having any of those things until the third day when she was sent to the hospital. And the whole ending, it literally tore my heart out that she was ignoring Ollie throughout the ending. And then the plot twist happened. Can we just discuss how, I'm sorry for my language, how fucked up that plot twist was? Oh my god. How do I put how awful what her mother did to her was in words? Simply in words. Oh my god. There is no, it's just, I can't even comprehend. When I was reading that, I couldn't even comprehend that actually just happened. So what happens is that her mother lied this whole entire time that Madeline was allergic to everything. This girl is not allergic to everything, and her mother just lied about it because now she does have a mental illness, her mother does. Her mother snapped after her brother and her father died. She never fully recovered, and she was such a sick baby that I'm pretty sure her mother just didn't want to lose her too. So she made up her having this disorder, I don't know what category it really falls under. She made it up because she really thought in her head, like at first I don't think that she thought her daughter really had that, but this is the classic case of looking up your symptoms online and thinking you have that. This is the definition of those people, and Madeline's mother looked up this disease, and she really convinced herself that her daughter had this to the point where it really stuck with her, and she really, really believed that her daughter was allergic to everything. And in this case scenario, I really did feel sorry for the mother. I really hate feeling sympathetic towards characters I really don't like. I didn't hate her mother per se, but I didn't particularly like her mother either, and I found something she did to be rather overdramatic. But at the same time, I don't know what it's like to have a child, nor do I know what it's like to have a sick child. I put sick child lightly, nor do I know what it's like to have a sick child, so I didn't know what her mother was going through, and I can't personally relate to her mother, so maybe that's why I'm having a little bit of trouble with what she did in this book. But oh my god, I guessed it a little bit when Carla said your mother never really, like as soon as she got the note saying that she was never sick to begin with, I'm all like, oh my god, please don't tell me her mother lied about that. Please don't tell me her mother really is that overprotective that she would lie about her having this disorder, and then completely, shutting her daughter from the world just because she didn't want to deal with it. I'm like, oh my god, please don't let this be this direction. And then my thought process was furthered whenever Carla said, I don't think that you're sick, but I think your mother is because your mother was never really right after your father and brother died. I'm just like, oh my god, it's totally going there. I know her mom is gonna be some type of crazy. And then it was further confirmed when Madeline stuck into her mother's office and did the files and dug through her files and found that she didn't have the disease. The only sheet of paper that was related to this disease was that her mother looked it up online and printed it out. There was nothing in her medical history, nothing that stated that she was sick to ever begin with. And then her mother comes in, and I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be a confrontation. And we do have a minor confrontation, but I felt sad for her mother because her mother's like, no, it's here. I know it's here. What do you do with it? And you realize that her mother, well, she made up the scenario in her head. You really had to feel sorry about how it happened. And my heart went out to her mother in that point because, oh my god, she went through so much stuff back then. And it's just, but at the same time, I get Madeline's situation of being pissed at her mother for that. So, of course, Madeline and her mother become estranged because of this situation. And, it's totally understandable. Madeline is still mad, and maybe in time she'll forgive her mother, but it's totally understandable why she would be pissed off at that. It's not an easy thing to get over, nor to digest in the first place. So, I totally get both sides of the spectrum in this, and I'm glad that her mother got help at the end for this. And it's really sad because this happened, Madeline can get sick pretty easily now because she has the immune system of an infant. Now because she never really fully developed her immune system because she was never exposed to any healthy bacteria or unhealthy bacteria. She didn't, build an immune system to fight against it. So that was really sad also. And for Madeline, everything's just being tossed on her. So you really have to understand why she didn't forgive her mother so quickly for what she did and why she's still trying to get over it. There was one scene that really made me ball up into tears, and that was the ending with her mother. That really moved me to tears because, things happen, and it's not her mother's fault that she's sick. Well, that her mother is sick mentally. She just snapped, and after losing a husband and a son, I totally understand why she would snap to begin with. And just, oh my god, but it's not the most touching, but the most heartbreaking line in this that really got to me and made me cry a little bit was whenever she was going to New York to meet Ollie again because he moved there and she's about to leave to go and see him, and then her mother asks her when she's gonna be back home, and Madeline just simply says, I don't think this is my home anymore, and that is just really sad, and I really hated how this mother-daughter relationship came to an end, but nothing, things could be fixed. They really can be, but it's gonna take her some time to get over it. And that's all she needs is time. Time and a sense of understanding what happened to her mother. And then hopefully in the future that, Madeline did forgive her mom, but with the ending was really cute. really cute and emotional roller coaster, but it really did end on a high note of her going to New York and meeting back with Ollie and the bookstore scene. Oh my god, that was just a perfect description of walking into a bookstore for me. For me, what happened in this book, and I just totally loved the whole ending where I think he pulls out The Little Prince because it's his favorite book, and Madeline knows this. He pulls it out, and the reward for finding her book is her, and that's just really cute. It was really cute ending, and I'm glad they settled their issues and got back together after what happened in Hawaii with her getting sick and all. And I'm really glad this book exists, mainly because I learned a lot of things I didn't know about being allergic to everything, and I learned a lot about how mental health could also tear up a family, not necessarily bring them together, but mental health could go both ways in this scenario depending on how people handle it. And with this book, it was more the negative side of mental illness and what could go wrong in the whole mental health issue. But I really did enjoy this book for what it was, and I will definitely probably recommend this to a lot of my friends because it is a good read. It was a fast-paced read, and I would love to read it again. And there you guys have it. That was my review of everything. What do you guys think of everything? Comment down below and let me know, and I will see you guys later for my next video. Bye!